Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where we are currently working on invading Britain here, and it is, to be honest, not going super well. We're working on it. It is a work in progress. Of course, we're also working on fighting up in Canada, and that is absolutely fine for right now. We're seeing some amount of gain here. Not a huge amount. We have a pretty major supply issue here at this moment. We're working on that. If we get a supply hub captured, that would be phenomenal. But I'm not 100% certain that that's going to be happening anytime soon. So for the time being, this seems absolutely fine. We've got these ready to go-ish, but we would definitely need to have the naval support for it, right? No doubt about that. We might be able to squeak it in. What is our current coverage in this region? Okay, so our base detection in region is 34.9. The radar coverage is 32.6 of that, but what I'm really wondering is what our supremacy is right now. 10%? Yeah, it's not great. So I'm not shocked about that. That is fairly expected, to be honest. So we've got this infantry division here, and this is a real infantry division. I'm going to put that right over here. Fantastic. So the gains over here are going to be fairly slow until such a time as we finish up these constructions, right? These supply hubs need to get done. So currently 10 January of 63, and this would be on 10 December of 62. Okay, that's not too bad, all things considered. It's going to take a little while, no doubt about that. And we need to get Great Britain taken care of course. There are some nations, like Danish Niger here, which I think is actually this Danish Niger, maybe. But we're not actually able to attack here. These guys are not technically in the war, but they are. It's very strange. We see them here, but they're not actually in the war here. They're in the association faction, and they're sending expeditionary forces. They're a puppet of a foreign power, but they don't appear to actually be in the war. Now, Denmark is in the war, but Denmark has capitulated. So, I don't know, it's kind of strange. Whatever, it's reasonably fine. The only real nations that are still in this war at this point is Great Britain and Canada. And we're working on Canada. So that is looking absolutely fine there. I'm wondering what the status of our close air support is now. I believe those were in this naval base, or rather air base. Yeah, so these close air support wings are being worked on, but it's going to take some time. Cool. So that's reasonably fine for now. We are working on ramping up our production of close air support. It is up to 79 out of 150 for military factories. That's not too bad. I'm going to drop off some production of modern large airframes here, bringing that up to 84. I still want to be producing tanks very heavily at this moment. So for the moment, that looks reasonably okay. I think we're fine on our support equipment and our infantry equipment. I don't think we need too much more then. So that seems okay. The main problem right now, of course, is we need a lot more ships. So if we look at how much Great Britain has in terms of their navy, they're significantly stronger than us navally. So they've got 425 ships right now. Most of those are destroyers. So that is definitely a thing. But we just want to work up our close air support at this point. And once our close air support is relatively in a good state, then it should be okay. It's actually up to 85 now. Perfect. We need 513 to get our close air support back to recovery here. And we're making about 7 per day. That number is going to come up a fair amount yet. And we're going to get more factories in here eventually as well. So that looks reasonably fine for the moment. The primary thing that we're doing right now is just holding this line. And I may want to tell these guys, cease your attack for the moment. And we may actually want to fortify here if we're going to cease our attacks. It won't take very long to do. It would just be these 3 locations, and we can get that underway. So we'll fortify up here and get these supply hubs built, and then we'll start up this attack again. I'm not sure why that guy attacked there, but whatever. Just keeping them honest, I guess. Sure, that seems fine. So Canada is on a bit of hold for right now, until we get our supply situation dealt with there. And yes, we are definitely having a hard time with this. Now, I want to check in on the strategic air map mode out over here. We are absolutely downing a lot of enemy planes. Okay, fantastic. That's good. They probably have a lot in stockpile, though, almost certainly. So that's fine. I would like to launch these naval invasions, but we need the naval supremacy to do it, right? And that is going to be very, very difficult for us to get. For the time being, I'm thinking about maybe pulling these submarines out, although they are getting good amounts of repairs done. I'm wondering how many subs we're losing at this moment. There are some mines up in this region, and that is understood. We could put our own mines in there, to be clear. We could do it via air, and let's see here. These are strategic bombers here. Naval mine laying is not something that our strategic bombers can do. Is that something our close air support can do? No. Do we have any planes right now that do have the capability of doing mine laying? We might. Like, naval bombers? Airdropped mines. Yes. So naval bombers, in theory, can do this. So in that case, we probably want to come over to, like, Picardy and get some of these naval bombers going in here. So I want to show only naval bombers, and we would want to have... Those are interwar naval bombers. I would want the advanced naval bombers here. I guess we only have 20 of them here right now. But I want them on naval mine laying, which apparently they can't do either. That's interesting. Why can't we do naval mine laying with these? Well, let's take a quick look at the equipment here. Mine laying 0, mine sweeping 0. Okay, so that's probably why. Let's get rid of that air wing. I believe that I chose the wrong type of craft. So, what do we have here? Well, we want these naval bombers. The improved naval bombers here do not appear to have any mine laying. No, I don't actually want this. Okay, whatever. The interwar naval bombers may or may not. We'll get those in there for now. And let's see what they've got over there. This did not actually do anything. Okay, cool. So the interwar naval bombers is fine, but what is the actual vehicle that we want? We want the carrier naval bombers, not these naval bombers. Right. Can those only launch from carriers? Possibly. As a follow-up question, do we have any carriers? Possibly. We've got 3. So that is reasonably fine. I would like these to make their way up to here, to get docked here, in port. So that's going to take them some time to get there. No doubt about that. They are currently off over here. And I want to put them in a new fleet here. So we're just going to move them up. And we currently have carriers and... Okay, we do have some naval bombers here. That's a pretty low range that they have. But we could put them here, hypothetically. So, if we were to do that, I would want them to move up to here, to this naval base. And that's exactly where we're going to put them. So we're moving them up, and hopefully we don't have too many British ships interfering with this. And I'd like to just launch them from this base up over here and drop mines. That's the goal here. Okay, so we've landed here, and I want to grab these naval bombers. Can't perform missions when the carrier is docked. Well, that's a little sad. In which case, we'd need to have them be out here. And they would just be in, like... What mode? Strike Force? No, not Strike Force, actually. They'd just be patrolling out here, I guess. But this is probably not going to have a huge amount of range, is my guess. So, where did they actually go? Okay. So I want to get these naval bombers up over here and on naval mine laying. There we go. And the carriers, we shouldn't need to do too much else other than that. We're just going to lay some mines up here. And we'll see what ends up happening here. Great Britain does have some ships over here. So that's noted. We'll see what ends up happening with that. It looks like they are disengaging. Yeah, they disengaged. So that's reasonably fine. We're going to work on getting some mines here. Our enemies have laid 531 mines. I don't know that we've laid any mines as of right now. Now, these guys are currently repairing. That is absolutely fine for the moment. So that looks good. We're going to continue to engage up over here. How are things going in terms of our close air support production? Okay, so we're needing about 200 additional. That looks reasonably solid. Coming up over here, I'm wondering on our construction up here. Okay, we're making good progress. We're halfway through this front line. But what we really needed here was the supplies, and we have some of those now. So we've got this guy here that I'm going to motorize, and this guy here that I'm going to motorize. We're going to demotorize this hub, and demotorize this hub. Okay, so that should move supplies to the front here, and now I want these lads to advance. We can actually assign a new trait here. We'll take Improv Expert. Cool. So that'll be fine. We'll start to push in here now that we have supplies coming through again. So that should be reasonably solid. Excellent. Now, down over here, I want to take a quick peek at what's going on in the air war here. They are getting absolutely massacred in the air war. Okay, so that is going really, really badly for them. No doubt about that. Incredibly, incredibly badly. The naval war for us is going kind of badly. So that is definitely a concern. The real question that I have here is, can we sneak this in? I don't know. We might be able to. We would need to move this task force up to the North Sea, and we'd need to move these guys from the Bay of Biscay over to the Eastern North Sea over here. I don't want to abort that task. I want to not be in the Bay of Biscay anymore. I guess we just need to let them finish their repairs. Okay, that's reasonably fine. We can do that. This is a naval base level 4 here, and we don't have enough dockyards allocated for repairs to use the full capacity of the naval base. Okay, that is understood. So that's absolutely fine. This is going to take a little while. I think that we're more likely to be able to make our way across up here than we are down here. But I'm going to tell both of these guys, execute if you get the chance. Because we would absolutely love to make landfall in Great Britain here. That would be amazing. The real question is, would we be able to establish and fortify the beachhead? Right? That would be pretty complicated. And I'm going to move these guys up over here for now. We're abandoning the English Channel. At least as soon as we're done with this particular engagement. Which is fine for the moment. And these guys are going to be done repairing eventually. We can do automatic split off though. Like so. And tell them, just get up to Eastern North Sea. I want you to patrol up here. There you go. And forget about the Bay of Biscay. So we're just going to hop through here. Excellent. And then these guys, they're heading up to the North Sea, and I'm hoping to catch them a little off guard here. What do we got? Only 10% supremacy here? Okay, that's not necessarily great. Noted. Well, I was hoping to catch them a little more off guard than this. We'll see what ends up happening with that. If we're able to get through here, that would be phenomenal. This is currently a destroyer. Okay, I want this to head up over here. And to be honest, I would like to put in a leader here. That would be this guy. He's already assigned to another fleet, so that would be this guy. Okay, looks good. So currently, what's the air superiority situation here? We've got full air superiority up in the North Sea. Sounds great. Okay, so we should be really, really close at this point to getting all of our close air support done. In fact, we are. We're apparently making upgrades at this point. 312 needed for upgrades. Okay. That's reasonably fine. So I would like to resume our close air support out in the North Sea, or rather in the English Channel. So all of these close air support that are here, and there's a lot of them, all of these are going to immediately head out over here. Now, they are going to definitely take a beating. We want them in naval strike mode. They're going to absolutely take a beating, 1,000%. But we're going to be able to start sinking some more of these ships, in theory. So with that in mind, we're going to keep an eye on the ability to deal with this. We're attacking in the English Channel here, and that's an early destroyer hull that we managed to shoot down there. That's good. We're going to run out of close air support again fairly quickly at this rate. But we are producing 8.46 per day. There's another nuke going off in London. Hilarious. And we're continuing to push through Canada over here. That looks absolutely fine. We shouldn't have any major issues here. We just captured a supply hub down here. Although it's going to take some time for supplies from Capital to get here. I'm wondering 7 days on that railway? Okay. It's going to take some time. Sure. Seems reasonably fine. So I kind of want to potentially consider dropping a nuke on their naval bases here. So that would be one out over here, one here, and one here. And potentially one here as well. So let's get some of those going. That'll be a bit of a kaboom. That's a bit of a kaboom, all right. Fantastic. That'll do some damage to their ship production capacity. But it's still going to be a grind. No way around it. I'm wondering if maybe we should swap these. Something like... yeah, head out here. Something like this. So swap these around and see what happens here. 54%. Is that enough for these guys to go? Hang on. Navy mode. Yes, but this is only 10% now. Okay. So it's this that's the problem. So I think what we need to do is we need to get this force split up a little bit more evenly. So that is noted, but I'm not sure that we have the capacity to do this right now. Enemy supremacy here is 53-39, which is kind of a lot. No doubt about that. So I'm going to pull these guys out of the North Sea for now. We're just going to sit in the eastern North Sea. And we're going to see what we can do about this. So this is going to be fine for now. We're going to strike back into the North Sea later on. So we managed to sink absolutely nothing here. Oh, we took down a light cruiser in addition to a destroyer here. That's good. I like it. And another destroyer here. So that is phenomenal. If we look at Britain right now, we can see that they are at 427. Their ship count has gone up. Okay. So that is noted. They are building a lot of ships, but their ships that they're building, I think, are kind of crappy. They're pumping them out quickly, probably more quickly than we are. But we have a lot more being devoted to it in terms of factories. So we've got 98 dockyards being devoted to it right now. That's a pretty decent amount. I'm going to pull back to just 5 working on convoys, something like this. And we're going to have a few more dockyards devoted to repairs. So that's fine for now. I want to check in out over here. So 48.1, we want to keep an eye on this situation. If they ever leave this area, then we want to immediately move into the North Sea with a significant force. So they're currently at 5,000 over here. That is noted. We are definitely going to be losing a lot of close air support, and I'm wondering just how much close air support we need at this point. So if we go up in here, 353 needed for upgrades. Okay. We'll keep an eye on that. For the time being, that's reasonably fine. So we're 48% naval supremacy up over here. We just need to be able to squeeze through here, right? This we didn't sink anything. This we didn't sink anything either. Okay. So it looks like they're kind of abandoning the English Channel as well. I'm guessing they moved with us-ish. 5193, 5191. So they have similar levels of naval supremacy in all of these areas. Noted. So air superiority is a bit of a thing. right? Let's move in a single unit of... Where are our fighters? Close air support fighters. Okay. Let's move in a single unit of MiG-9s here. And these are going to come out over here in air superiority mode. I'm going to send a second unit, actually, and we're going to bring in another air wing of MiG-9s. So those are going to be in the fighters, of course, and MiG-9s are in here somewhere. There they are. The second wing is going to go out over the North Sea, and they're going to be in air superiority mode. Okay, so we're going to get both of those deployed out. They're currently deploying. They'll arrive shortly. There's one unit here, and the other unit is here. Okay, perfect. So we can see that we have basically 100% air superiority in both of these areas now. Now, if we go to naval mode, we can see that this is at 53.1. If we pull these guys out, I imagine that drops. Indeed it does. 47.3 out here. Okay. Noted. So, the submarines here are a bit of a problem. Oh, they're trying a naval invasion here? Hilarious. Okay. That's not going to go well for them. That's not going to go well at all. So, I wish them luck. They're trying to naval invade up here as well. Again, that's not going to go well. So, they're trying to do the exact same thing we are and having the same struggles. I want to point that out. So at this point, these guys have definitely finished up this area down here. That's great. So we're going to continue to push through Canada without any major problems. There's this area up here, and I would like you to man this, and I'd like you to man this. Okay. That'll be fine for the moment. We're going to continue to press through Canada. Now, down over here, that's another destroyer hull sunk. This is another destroyer hull sunk. And another destroyer sunk. Beautiful. We are definitely losing close air support, but the number that we're losing is actually not that bad. Now, we do have a need of 33 of these at this moment. So that's absolutely noted. And we managed to take down one of their convoys there. Cool. So that's looking reasonably good. Let's check in on our naval situation out over here. So we're at 57.8 right now. Indeed. I'm going to move these subs up over here. The subs don't appear to be too much of a contributor. Correct. So the subs are going to be up over here. They're only at 16% supremacy. We definitely need to get some additional ships up here. There's no doubt about that. And we've currently got a destroyer. Okay, we'll move that up, and I'd like all of these to be merged together, something like that. Okay. So that looks reasonably fine for now. Hang on. They briefly exited here. 97.3%. Our Marines are on the move. I highly doubt that we're going to be able to fortify this hold here, but this is a proof of concept. So we're on our way in here. We'll see how this goes. If we manage to get a good toehold here, then that's phenomenal. I expect us to take this naval base. It's only a level 1 naval base. But this is huge. If we're able to get this, and we're able to win this invasion, which looks like it's going to happen, and we can push out a little bit. Okay, so here we are in. We need to immediately start an offensive line of at least here. Bare minimum. So we're going to get going on that right now. Get in there, do what you can. In the meantime, we need to upgrade this naval base. We need to build land forts here. Both of those are incredibly high priority. And we're going to continue to build land forts as we push forward here. So we're going to push these guys out without any problem. No problem whatsoever here. I'm going to immediately start bringing in this army. They're going to start frontlining here, but they are not going to push in. They're going to reinforce our Marines for right now. So in they come, and we are at this point going to work on land forts. Here, here, here. Excellent. I absolutely expect the British to respond to this with extreme force. We've taken a couple more locations here. We need more land forts, here and here. Cool. These guys are not advancing due to lack of supply in this area. I want to motorize this hub, and we have a hub here, 8 days until this railway converts over. That's reasonably fine. Do we have a connection here right now? We don't, and we should. So we'll get going on that as well. We're continuing to push in here. I want these guys here right now. Get in here, please. Not you, but everyone else get in here. Excellent. So we're starting to see these guys making their way up to the front. There's going to be some supply issues here. No doubt about it, but we're going to move in. Okay. So we're continuing to push these guys out. We need a land fort here. That did not go. We need a land fort here. Cool. So we're seeing level 1 land forts being built in some of these areas. We're going to have an easier time holding, but we just need to get some amount of land hold here. Then we need to dig in and fortify, get our supplies under control, then we can start to push once we bring in tanks. But for right now, we're just attacking with these Marines. We're looking to hold these areas and not get pushed out. So, I see that we are potentially getting pushed out here. I'm going to start building land forts there. I want to see, have we managed to get this railway yet? No, we've got 2 days there. Okay, 1 day. Excellent. There is a dangerous naval invasion down over here. I don't expect that to be a serious issue at this moment. We should have that relatively under control now. Cool. This is such a big deal. Like, this is an unspeakably big deal that we've managed to do this. So what we need to do right now is get this railway upgrading and this railway upgrading. I don't know that we're going to take much additional land here in this push, but we don't necessarily need to. These are hills and mountains provinces that we're digging in on. So that is wonderful. This supply hub is good to go. I'm going to motorize that. But we can see that we are overloading our supplies here, and that's not surprising at this moment. We may consider pulling back these Marines fairly soon. But this is huge. It is time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we are going to fortify this position, and we should probably pull back the Marines and start bringing in tanks at some point. The question is, what point is that? This is still only a level 1 naval base. We need to keep that in mind. We may be best off upgrading this to a naval base as well, getting that going. And this is being worked on. It's about halfway done there, about 11 days until our throughput on this naval base increases. So that looks good. But like I said, this is a next episode sort of thing. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Atala, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.